song that I think must be an English song, but no one in England sings it as far as I know. But you know, it's America. We all came from somewhere, unless you're a Native American, and they don't play concertinas too much. Although, there is an Eskimo concertina tradition I found, with photos to prove it. The whalers were up in Alaska, and they had concertinas with them. They'd trade them for whatever. And there's this wonderful photo from the 50s of this Eskimo woman playing the concertina and her little fur-covered children dancing. Pretty incredible how the concertina spread worldwide. And the reason why it did is that it was the first instrument that was invented that could play melody and harmony and rhythm all at the same time with one musician. And they were relatively, this one isn't, but they were relatively inexpensive. The simple 20-button instruments were pretty, they were almost disposable. They were that inexpensive. There are stories of this person was recollecting how his parents sent him off to the corner store to buy a bucket of beer and a concertina. And he'd bring it back, and they'd use them both up. And they'd throw it in the bin when they were done, because it was not an expensive instrument. It also wasn't a very good instrument, but it worked. And you could squeeze it and play tunes and have a party. And there really wasn't anything like that in 1840, 1830, when it was invented, and not just invented, but manufactured for mass consumption by the Germans. They had the manufacturing know-how, and millions of them went all over the globe. And of course, it was simultaneously invented in England by Sir Charles Wheatstone, and quite a different instrument, but also a little tiny box with buttons. And that's known as the English concertina. And this one was called the German concertina. And then, of course, the English manufacturers wanted to get in on the craze, because it was a fad. And so they started making their own, but they improved it. They gave it a hexagonal shape instead of a square shape, and much better action, fancy buttons, and so it was smoother and better sounding reeds, and English technology was far superior to the German, but they also cost more. So anyway, that's the history. Now you know all about concertinas. So what am I going to sing for you? A song. How about this one? Well, I met a girl, I had a girl. No, I'm not going to sing that one. Too complicated. Too complicated. I'm going to sing a much simpler one. This is a song about gooseberry pie. Do you have gooseberries here?
Yeah.
Oh, do you make pie out of them?
Yeah. Yes.
Could do. All right. Gooseberry pie. You may boast, if you like, of your bacon and greens, talk of roast turkey and game, sing loud the praises of Boston baked beans, they all may be just what you claim. Roast beef and plum pudding may answer for some, oysters in a stew or a fry, I relish them all, but my favorite delight is a big piece of gooseberry pie. For there's nothing like gooseberry pie, say I. How I love gooseberry pie. Since the time of the flood, there's been nothing so good, so luscious as gooseberry pie. Since the time of the flood, there's been nothing so good. It can't be an American song. It's gotta be English. Since the time of the flood. There's been nothing so good. It's the only way to make it rhyme. So luscious as gooseberry pie. 'Twas my favorite luncheon when toddling about, a youngster of 2 years or more. I'd waft up the fragrance that often arose through a crack in the old oven door. As my teeth gently press through the lovely brown crust, and the contents it holds is set free, it sends through my frame such a thrill of delight. It's luscious as luscious can be, for there's nothing like gooseberry pie, say I. How I love gooseberry pie. Since the time of the flood, there's been nothing so good, so luscious as gooseberry pie. Nice singing. I'm now growing older and I love it still more, and I will till the day that I die. For breakfast or supper there's nothing so good as half of a gooseberry pie. There's a girl here who's taken a fancy to me, I can tell by the look in her eye. But the woman I marry must first understand how to bake a good gooseberry pie. So there's nothing like gooseberry pie, say I. How I love gooseberry pie. Since the time of the flood, there's been